A pleasant good evening and welcome to SAT TV's Channel 9 Evening News. I am your presenter, Desmond Joseph. Thank you for joining us. Among the major developments, Mount Prosper parents protest deplorable school conditions. Tropical storm Leslie creeps northwards towards Bermuda. Mauritania deports Libya spy chief Abdullah al-Senussi. Details of these and other stories after the break. Support local, support SAT Telecommunications Limited, the people's choice. Join hands with us. Come and sign up for your digital TV connection today. We got the sharpest, cleanest, brightest digital TV connection. No antiquated analog service, only pure digital and many new packages coming soon. With latest in sports, movies, children programming and much more. So if you have your flat screen TV and you want to see quality TV, join now. Sign up today for your digital television. Support local, support SAT Telecommunications Limited, the people's choice. Thank you for staying with us. Now for the details of the news. The public is truly playing a part and showing interest in the future of the Kalinago children as four concerned young people came together to form the Kalinago Child Support Foundation, where they assist less fortunate children.
Okay. I'm Amanda Theodore, and this is Vernell Edmond. The Kalinago Child Support Foundation is a foundation that started in relation to helping children who are underprivileged and need help. School have begun, and they certainly need help. Some of them still don't have textbooks, uniforms, not even a pair of shoes to go to school with. It's in that sort of critical condition, and we really need as much help as possible.
Chairperson of the foundation, Ms. Amanda Theodore, says that the idea originated from herself after visiting the Kalinago territory, where she saw the state of some of the children. Ms. Theodore gives some more details about how the foundation began.
Well, our first endeavor was to first put together a board. Now we have 4 members, 2 of which are not here with us right now. And then we had something in order to raise funds called Sunday Lime. Yeah, it was kind of slow in the beginning, then kind of died for a moment. But then as the upcoming year was coming, we realized that we really need to do something, because it's not really about raising funds just to have money for a foundation. It's helping the children. So we started the literacy program. And the literacy program started on the 31st of June and just ended on the...
The Human Resource Secretary, Ms. Vernell Edmond, says although the foundation only began in October of last year, they have held a few activities to raise funds for the children.
Well, the first annual summer literacy program was a success. We had 19 children. We divided them into the age ranges. We had 3 classes in all. For the little ones, the preschoolers, smaller ones, and then for those between the ages of, let's say, from 6 to 10, and from those from grade 6 to first form. It was to help them to develop on their competence in writing, because some of them were a little behind. So we wanted to differentiate and show them really what and how to compose.
The young ladies mentioned that so far they have dealt with 19 children and have adopted as many as they can to ensure that they are fed, clothed, and simply comfortable. Here's a message from the chairperson.
Appealing to the Dominican public to help us through this endeavor. It's a critical condition. It's a problem that Dominica is facing. It's with children who don't have the opportunity to go to school, not even to have a proper education, and it is their right to a proper education. So I want all of Dominicans to come along with us and help us. This is something that started in the Kalinago territory. However, we want it to go beyond, because we need to see a change in Dominica, and change starts with the future. And our future are the children. So we're hoping that this will change, and we need your help.
For those interested, you can go to their Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/Kalinago Child Support Foundation, or email them at kalinagofoundation@yahoo.com. And in more local news, to start off the school year, the Minister of Education, Mr. Peter Seja, has assured the public that the Ministry of Education is ready for the resumption of the new school year. Mr. Seja says to ensure that the students have a productive school year and are comfortable, contractors around the island have been assigned to carry out the maintenance repair works throughout the school year.
As it stands, we have a number of schools that are 100% complete as it relates to our maintenance schedule. We must note, however, that a few of our school plants, works will continue throughout the next 3 to 4 weeks. We have scheduled the works in such a way that there will be minimal interruptions and disruptions to classroom.
The minister stated that works have already begun at certain schools and that as times go by, these repairs will be completed.
Classes. Currently, we have works ongoing in St. Joseph, in Campbell, Pichelin, and at Penville. I wish also to inform that all secondary schools are ready for the reopening of schools. And from the information that I have from the technocrats within the Ministry of Education, all secondary schools, including the Northeast Comprehensive High School, are in a satisfactory state and worthy to receive the children.
In relation to the recent incident at the Northeast Comprehensive School, NECS, Mr. Seja has assured the public that repairs will be ongoing as of today.
3 weeks. As was said by my Chief Education Officer, we have sourced windows from Barbados, and the view is we required windows that are much more durable than what obtained before. These windows have been sourced, should be on island within the next 2 weeks, and we have engaged a contractor who have given us an undertaking that the repair works will be carried in the shortest possible time frame with very little interruptions, since the works have been scheduled to take place in the afternoon and the night hours.
He mentioned that one of the challenges that the ministry is currently facing is the amount of children not accessing the early childhood program. The minister says 600 students are currently deprived of this program, and he hopes to see a huge difference by September 16th, since the aim is to have preschools combined with primary schools. Mr. Seja advised parents, principals, and teachers to go the extra mile and to take a keen interest in the children's education. And in other local news, while most students, parents, and teachers were all smiles upon returning to school on Wednesday, September 5th, it was angry faces and frowns for that of the faculty and parents of the Newtown Primary School. This was the case as they all expected the new school term to commence in the new school they were promised by the government of Dominica in collaboration with the People's Republic of China. President of the Newtown Primary Parents Association, Mr. Andrew Newbeck, who is dissatisfied with the constant delays in construction of the new school, says that it is long overdue, and he does not understand why it is taking so much time for construction to commence.
School. We are standing on the grounds of the new school, where requirements that were put forth by the Chinese constructors, a retaining wall on the top, a retaining wall on the bottom of the area where the new school is going to be. These were things that government had to do. They finally did do, but now through whatever delays, we are still without the new school. All our students now have a new uniform. They were all here with the new elan of facing something brand new, and we're still back at the same old. Parents are not happy, the PTA is not happy. I am sure
Mr. Newbeck pointed out that discussions with the Minister of Education, Honorable Peter Seja, indicated that the Chinese changed the plan and now wants to tender out the project, which was promised to be constructed by the government.
One of the main things that was said that China, who funded or is funding the new school, is not going to put any new workers onto the island. They are trying to go with the workers that are here, i.e. the ones that are doing the State House, the workers that are doing other construction construction things on the island. Okay, the existing workers that are on the island are supposed to finish what they are doing and then start new talk.
He added they have received so many excuses that at this point they do not know what is fact and what is fiction. Mr. Newbeck added that there is a health issue which is affecting the students, as they have to call in the fire truck on numerous occasions to hose down the premises due to dust, and not inviting for the students and teachers.
A lot of the parents have children that are suffering from asthmatic attacks throughout the dust here. When it rains, school classes are getting dripped on, doors that have holes in them, walls that are crumbling. We really have a number of concerns that the school is too old. The school really cannot function. It's one of the largest primary schools that we have in Dominica, and it is in a very poor state.
Principal of the Newtown Primary School, Mr. Jerry Coppell, says that one of the requirements for retaining walls to be constructed before construction of the new school can commence. But now that the government has done so, the appropriate logistics are being worked out for that construction to start. The principal added that although the school's construction was expected to be in July or August of this year, this did not go as planned, but the Ministry of Education is working feverishly to get work started.
There was no commitment for new school for this new school term. Okay, so if people had this thought, then probably they were wrong. But there was never a promise for this September. It would not be possible. But parents are concerned. They are still looking forward to seeing the actual construction. And I can understand the frustrations because the building is really, we are lucky so far. We have fair weather, but when the rain begins, it may create some problems for us. So we are hoping that really means we can speed up the process.
Mr. Coppell pointed out that when constructed, the new school environment would certainly help improve their image, and the learning and teaching conditions in turn would positively affect the overall performance of the school. He added that he is very optimistic that the construction of the school will start before the year ends. The Education Minister, Honorable Peter Seja, did promise that the school will be completed by the end of this year previously, but efforts to contact him for a comment on this construction delay proved futile.
When we Mount Prosper people, we are too coward. Look, why is that place Silver Lake people? All of them go ministry and demonstrate for their children's school clothes. All of us as women in Mount Prosper, we shouldn't be shy of talking about our children and what we want for our school. We should go down ministry and demand what we want for our school. It's not sitting down Mount Prosper and say, we want this and we want that and we don't doing what we're supposed to do. We have to go tongue in tongue and talk about.
This was the cry of just one of many angry Mount Prosper parents who are fed up with the deplorable conditions at the Mount Prosper Primary School.
We need a school, we're supposed to get a school. Okay? And we need it right now. If we could get it right now, we want it. And I call in on the Prime Minister. And I call in on callings that representing us. Frances Wade need our school right now.
Another concerned parent says that it is very sad to see that school opened today, September 5th, and due to the condition of the school, there was no classes for the students. She went on to say that the children need their education, which is vital for success. The angry parents added that it has been 2 years now they have been pleading to the government to do what they can to address their plight, but their cries have been falling on deaf ears.
And today school open. And I have a little boy of 6 years going to school and I'm tired. I say I'm so happy school open now. For me to see indeed boy have to go home and no school. Rat running all in their food because of the school condition. And it's high time for the government to do something about it. You know, something has to be done.
Although there are other concerning issues in the over 30-year-old school, the parent indicated that the flooring in the school has rotted to the point where the students can fall through and seriously injure themselves. They also indicated that the students of grade K and grade 1 had to go back home today because of the state of their classrooms.
There. But since my daughter was in preschool, when she comes, she's 18 years. And since she come, when she studied that school, she studied in that class there, that same school that fall in there. And I believe they try to treat Mount Prosper, they needed to be treated better than that. Right now they're thinking of taking the office. We cannot use the office as a classroom. If you have to look outside there, you will see all the benches. And that is a shame. They're helping everybody else. And when it comes to Mount Prosper, I don't know what is the problem. But we're going to do something and we need something to be done today. We need something, we need to hear the parents of Mount Prosper voice. Because Mount Prosper is treated badly for how long?
The concerned parent added that with the issue of leptospirosis in Dominica, it is a health concern for their students to go to a school where rats are running rampant. The parents say that the students are being cramped into one classroom, and with this congestion, it is not an environment that is conducive for learning, and action needs to be taken as soon as possible. The principal of the school cannot comment at this time, and efforts to contact the education minister for comment on this situation prove futile. However, SAT TV News will provide any update as soon as more information becomes available. One young film producer is calling on persons to stop discriminating against persons who are infected with HIV.
It can happen to any one of us. HIV doesn't discriminate. HIV doesn't put a name or a tag. Anyone is exposed to HIV and AIDS. That is why you have to be responsible. Imagine you're married or you have a partner. You believe that you love him, he loves you. You figure it can't happen to me. And then you go to get a test and you realize that you are HIV positive. You look in the mirror and you see the same person, the same beautiful, intelligent person. How would you feel? You would be sad, depressed. Why? Because you figure other persons are going to look at you in a different way. It wasn't necessarily your fault, but it happened to you. And it happens to a lot of other persons. Do you think it's fair for you to discriminate against these persons?
This passionate message came from 25-year-old manager of Adrenaline Arts, Miss Nali Bertrand, who hails from the community of Loda. Ms. Bertrand, who just completed a 2-day training workshop in Antigua, which was geared towards building the capacity of 30 young television producers from 16 countries to deliver top-quality TV programming on HIV, says, the persons who are infected with these deadly diseases are normal persons who should be treated equally.
Human beings, and they walk among you, they live among you, they are your friends, you don't even know it. They are your friends, they are your employees, they may be your employer. They may be in the same church with you, they may be your pastor, your lawyer, even your hairdresser, your barber. You don't know them. And that's why it's important to respect everybody. Don't talk about people living with HIV anywhere like, these people are dead. They are not, they're still alive, because the person may be right there in your midst and you don't know it. And it can happen to you and you would not want it to happen, you would not want to feel that way. So let's be considerate. And let's treat everybody with respect. If somebody has diabetes, you're not going to discriminate. So why discriminate with someone who's living with HIV?
She also advised the persons who are living with HIV to take special care of themselves, especially their health, as they are responsible for themselves. Ms. Bertrand said this is why it is vital that a condom be used each time persons are engaging in the act of sex, as it will protect them from HIV and all other forms of sexually transmitted diseases. She added that true friends will always point each other into the right direction if one is going down the wrong path, which is the attitude we need to have in protecting ourselves against HIV and AIDS. As part of the training she received in Antigua, the producer has to create a 2-minute documentary focusing on HIV and AIDS. This documentary will address the issue of discrimination and respect all the effort to sensitize the public on why it is important to protect themselves from sexually transmitted diseases.
It's for the media. The media plays a very pivotal role in really bringing that message across. And that's where the producers come in, because we must produce top quality productions to capture person's attention, because we can produce anything, but if it doesn't reach the audience, if it's not attractive to them, then they're not going to look at it. And so we were trained to produce documentaries, public service announcements, which will really tell people, stop, look, listen. And so this is what I have to do. I have to produce a TV documentary which will say, stop, look, listen. It's your life. It's the life of somebody else. And so I'm going to send it to UNESCO, and once they approve of it, they're going to place it on, all the media networks, all the television stations in the Caribbean region in 16 different.
Ms. Bertrand pointed out that this documentary, in addition to providing exposure for her, will promote Dominica, as it will be done entirely by Dominicans.
It was an extremely worthwhile experience, Larry, and I'll tell you why. I am a teacher also, and I have my business. I do a lot of productions. And I live in this country. I hardly ever met someone living with HIV. To me, the issue was there. But I had a personal experience with it because I actually sat in a room. I had no idea that I was sitting in a room with persons living with HIV. And they got a chance to tell us their story, the experiences, the discrimination that they were faced with, the challenges of trying to live a normal life. And for me, it hit home. I felt that now I could tell their story in a more personal way. I wanted persons to stop discriminating. I wanted persons to respect these people. And I also wanted persons to start to respect themselves.
Some of the aspects that the workshop covered were the number of persons infected with HIV/AIDS in the Caribbean, how to stop and the effects of discrimination, ways to live a normal life with HIV, and ways to sensitize the public on ways to protect themselves against sexually transmitted diseases. Ms. Bertrand added that the workshop taught her things such as the importance of time management, budgeting wisely, and being responsible among other aspects. And in more local news, it was a superior day for the National Development Foundation of Dominica, NDFD, as they held their 30th annual general meeting on Wednesday, 5th September. Chairman Dr. Damian Dublin says 30 years of business proves that something progressive is being done to sustain the success of the organization. On the other hand, Dr. Dublin added that it has not been an easy task due to the global changes.
The theme selected, 30 years of dedication to the micro-business sector, was very relevant. Some of the activities which we undertook to celebrate the 30th anniversary was the launch of a website. You can check this website at www.ndfd.dm. You can get all the information required about NDFD there. We had an anniversary magazine, which was well put together, in-house by staff. We need to commend the staff. We have a lot of talented people within NDFD, and we try to make use of them to get things done.
NDFD currently manages loan funds such as Social Security Fund, Women's Credit Bureau, amongst many others. Dr. Dublin stated that a facility was organized which was aimed at the Kalinago women to help build their character and improve their standards of living.
Social Security Business Loan, we have this collaborative relationship. Social Protection Fund, the Microcredit Facility, Young Farmers Credit Facility. It's a facility directly aimed at young farmers. Women's Credit Bureau, that was a specific fund which was aimed at rural women with a certain loan size. For example, we wanted 2,000, 3,000 to just help in the rural areas. We had a facility which was specifically targeting the Kalinago women to help them build capacity and improve their standard of living.
The chairman mentioned that NDFD has collaborated with Dominica Youth Business Trust, DYBT. Dr. Dublin gives us more insight on the loans that were granted.
Interestingly, we're collaborating with DYBT, the Dominica Youth Business Trust. Besides granting loans to the clients, NDFD is part of the management board. And out of this link, we granted 16 loans to DYBT clients at a value of $239.491. The areas which that covered was agriculture, craft, fishing, livestock, equipment for a bar, a saloon. Somebody wanted to purchase a bus to do a line of clothing, move about and sell clothes. I mean, it's just a whole range of areas. So just picture 16 young people setting up their own little business and the impact it have on they themselves in terms of their economic development and their families by extension.
The chairman says in comparison to last year, utility costs were reduced. In addition, he mentioned that recently the office was remodeled to suit the customers, and he commends the executive director, Mr. Ronald Knight, and the staff. Dr. Dublin says overall 9,950 loans have been granted, and he strongly believes that NDFD is ready for any sort of challenges. Representing the government, Dr. Colin McIntyre urges NDFD to come up with new ways to doing business in terms of being better suited to serve their customers.
There are major challenges confronting the globe right now, and there have to be a new way of doing business in terms of how we can prepare ourselves and be better suited to serve our clients. I mean, you mentioned about as well too in terms of the big D, and you were able to clarify that it's not Dr. Dublin. It's folks who just come in here, use the money, and sad but true, don't intend to pay back. And this doesn't help at all in terms of the sustainability of our businesses. I would urge you, and of course the folks listening to us, and the number of the media houses here, and they're hearing us, and lately we've been articulating a lot, even our Prime Minister when he spoke last week at the opening of the water tank.
Mr. Patrick Pemberton was recognized for all his contributions towards NDFD, especially in the record-keeping department. Mr. Pemberton says he is surprised with the amount of businesses that do not have a record-keeping system.
Been recognized for, which is record-keeping, accounting. It is unbelievable in Dominica, the amount of businesses who do not have up-to-date records of the business. And the question I ask myself is, how do they manage the business? Because you don't know what's happening. I served on the bank, the National Bank Board, and people are applying for loans and they haven't had an account for 3 years. So I cannot understand what is the basis of the decision making. And if there's one message I'd like to leave, if there are any people who are clients of the NDFD or any other organization, because that's the exact problem I had to deal with at the NDFD when I got in. We didn't have accounts for 3 years, we had not had the audit for 5 years. I said, but you're a financial institution planning to help businesses, and we're not running our business.
This has been a local segment of the news. Coming up next,